Okay folks, well welcome back once again to The Long Dark, video number 2 in our latest survival playthrough series, and we are exactly, literally where we left off. As soon as I saved it in our last video, I paused it, I went away, I did some housework, I'm coming back, and we're here again, exactly where we left off. So, at the end of the last video, we had made our way, we'd spawned obviously on Pleasant Valley, near the picnic area, and we'd made our way over to Pleasant Valley Farmstead, and we have basically looted it. We've gone around, we found absolutely everything that's in here. We've started to organise ourselves and put stuff in various storage areas. It's going dark, we slept for an hour to save the game, and that's where we are. Now, normally what I do with these videos is, if I'm in this situation where I've slept for an hour to save the game, off camera I'll sleep through the night and then pick it up again the following morning, but I wanted to explain the sleep system for the benefit of people who haven't seen The Long Dark before. So apologies if you've seen any of my other videos or you've seen other Long Dark videos. I'll get my teeth in a minute. And you know how to do this, but I wanted to do this for the benefit of people who haven't. So the way the sleep system works, because it has changed, it's a bit more complicated than it used to be. We shall go to sleep, and we see the sleep menu. Now, we've got less than 1 hour of daylight remaining. It stays dark for about 12 hours. But we can't sleep for 12 hours. This bar is the key thing, the tired bar. As soon as this is full, it will wake us up. So we can say, well, let's try and sleep for 8 hours. Obviously, you see how many calories we're using. And we're okay, we've got more than enough calories. I'll explain how your condition improves next time we sleep. We'll just concentrate on the sleep system for now. Condition is currently 66%. Feels like 4 degrees, so we're not going to freeze to death, and we're going to get a warmth bonus of +7 anyway from the bed. We're going to try and sleep for 8 hours. Let's see what happens. We are resting. Counter's going down. Counter's going down. Counter's going down. And we woke up fully rested. So we haven't actually slept for 8 hours. It woke us up as soon as that bar became full. So we are completely warm because we're in a nice warm bed. We are fully rested, which means we can't sleep at the moment. Yep. We are mildly thirsty and hungry, but we're still okay for now. But obviously we can't sleep anymore. So how do we get through the next 4 hours of darkness? Well, the way to do it is to pass the time. Now basically it's exactly the same, except you're not actually sleeping. So you're not going to get rested. Your resting is actually going to go down. You're not going to get the warmth bonus, I don't think. I might be wrong there, actually. And your condition's not going to go up. So let's pass time for a couple of hours. And you can see we're still getting thirsty. We're still getting hungry. We're still using calories. And whoops. Did not expect that to happen. And our rested bar has actually gone down, as you can see. So we haven't been sleeping. So that's the difference between sleeping and passing time. You can pass time absolutely anywhere from the menu. I think it's under, is it under, where is it? I think it's, is it under Campcraft? Yes, there's a deck of cards, so you can actually pass the time. I'll explain all of this later as we go through, by the way. But you can only sleep in a bed or your bedroll. So when you're out and about, you've got your bedroll, you can lay your bedroll down and you can sleep in that. And obviously you can sleep in beds in buildings. So now our rested stats gone down a little bit. We are completely thirsty, so my condition is going to start dropping. So I don't want to sleep now because my condition will drop very quickly while we're sleeping. So before I go back to sleep, I want to drink. And that will always either use all of your water or completely rehydrate you, whichever comes first. Let's go back in bed and we'll sleep for another hour. I'm going to sneeze again. Excuse me. I'll tell you what, the last few days, something has been tickling my nose in here. Something wrong. Okay, so. We've got 1 hour of darkness remaining. We've slept for an hour. And we have knocked our rest stat up a bit. But it's not quite at the top, which in theory means we can go back to sleep again. So let's sleep for another hour. Oh no, it won't let me. Okay. Well, we'll pass time for an hour then. There we go. And it's got light. And we are pretty much...
Man, all I can think about is food.
We're pretty much in daylight now. Obviously our rested stat has dropped a little bit, but we're okay. That's absolutely fine. So the way to sleep through the night is to just keep breaking it down. Sleep for as long as you can, pass time for a little bit, then just sleep again, just to get your rested stat that little bit higher, just until you get to the morning. And just keep doing that until you get all the way through the night. That's how I tend to do it anyway. Everyone else has their own different ways. That's part of the thing about this game. Everybody plays it slightly differently. This is how I do it. And it's served me fairly well. So, what are we going to do now? Well, we need to eat for a start because we keep moaning about it. So let's eat this energy bar. It's at 20%. There is a slight risk of food poisoning, but hopefully we should be okay. Okay, that gives us 500 calories. Calories are what improve our hungry bar or our food bar. Obviously, you need to keep that quite. You need to keep calories still quite high. You use calories as you do physical activity. Once you run out of calories, you will slow down. You won't be able to sprint. Your condition will start to drop and things like that. So you need to watch it a little bit, but you can let it drop and you can let it start to impact your condition. It's not quite as bad as if you get thirsty. Just to eke out your food supply. So I'm only going to eat that, so it hasn't really filled me completely, but I haven't got much food. I need to keep it going for a bit. Okay, so I think we're going to have to make a little bit of a raiding run. We're going to have to head out somewhere and see what we can find. I think the next thing we're going to do is go into the cellar, in all honesty, and go and see what's down there. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at our clothes, because we did pick some clothes up while we were down going around this building, and we have actually, I've still got to get used to this clothing system in all honesty. We have a ragged cotton too, so we can wear that inner, and we can wear a scarf as an outer. So we can now put lots of different combinations of clothing together with this new system. It's quite cool actually. Right, okay, so we've got 2 sets of gloves. So which is the best set? So we get a 1 degree warmth bonus, a half a degree wind bonus from these mittens, and we get a 0.6 and a 0.6 from these ski gloves. So the mittens are actually better. However, these stats here are new. These ones relate to the frostbite risk, the ability for the clothes to get damp. I'm still learning this system, I'm going to be brutally honest, but I think the ski gloves are slightly more resilient to getting damp and to damage, which I think is what that means, or to shield from animal attack or something. I can't remember exactly what it means, but they're more resilient basically. The ski gloves are more resilient, but they're not as warm. The mittens are less resilient, but they're warmer. So for what we're doing, we're not expecting a fight, we're not expecting anything nasty, so we'll put the mittens on because they're warmer. We're going to be walking through the cold. Down here we have socks. We can actually put, again, multiple pairs of socks on. So I'm now wearing 2 pairs of socks. Before you could only wear 1 pair. Now I can wear 2 pairs. And what we've got here that we can put on. Well, we definitely want this coat. I think this coat is going to make a difference. And we can actually put that on as well. We can put lots of clothes on. However, you will see down here, it's reducing our ability to sprint. We can't sprint for as long if we're wearing a lot of clothes, and it's going to be very heavy. But I'm not planning on sprinting, so we should be alright. We're going to be walking. So the new clothing system is a little bit more sophisticated, a bit more complicated than the old one. And I haven't quite got my head around it yet. So I've still got to get the hang of this. But basically, you can layer things up. You can put outer layers, inner layers, you can put accessories, you can put multiple socks and things on, but they have different knock-on effects. Different combinations of clothing. Clothing now has this resilience kind of protection rating, which I believe is from things like animal attacks, and this waterproofness, which affects your frostbite risk. Your clothes get wet. If they get wet, you're at risk of frostbite. So the more resilience to that you have, the longer it takes for them to get wet, and the lower your frostbite risk is ultimately going to be. So you can change the combination of clothes you're wearing depending on what you're planning to do. If you're going to do a high-speed raiding run across a wolf-infested area where you're going to have to sprint, you probably want to wear less clothes so you're lighter and you can sprint faster and for longer. If you're going to have a long trek through very cold temperatures over a longer distance, you want to wear much thicker, heavier clothing. You're not going to be able to sprint, but it's going to keep you warm, and it's going to allow you to get that distance without getting hypothermia. So it's a new element. It's all about balance. It's about finding the right combination of things to wear. So I think that's going to be quite cool once we get the hang of it. And of course you can do what I've done and wear everything. I can in fact put 2 pairs of trousers on. That's kind of awesome as well. I think I'm wearing 1 pair of underwear and 2 pairs of trousers at the moment. It's not my sprint ability down to 80%, but it's knocked my warmth bonus up to 8. Plus 8 degrees C, which is really, really good. Because we're going outside, it's going to be cold, but we're not going to be running or sprinting really, we're just going to be trekking. So that's what I want to do. Gives us more protection as well, just in case we do get attacked. So, right, what we're going to do then, we'll learn about this, I'm learning about this, we'll learn about this as we go through, about how to modify your clothing setups for different circumstances. But right now, we're going to be taking a relatively slow trek through the cold, so we want maximum warmth and maximum protection. So I've basically put on all of my clothes, and I'm nice and warm. So let's come out of here. So that's my clothing sorted. In all honesty, I think we're sorted. So let's go down into the cellar. And to do that, we're going to go outside. A couple of ways outside from this. But in fact, there's 3 ways outside from this building. Go out through this door. It's the back door. You can go out through this door, which is a side door. But the way I tend to go out is through this one. And the reason for that is it drops you into this porch. Which you'll see in a minute. When the game loads. There we go. Drops me into this porch, and this porch allows me to have a look around and see what's happening outside and see what's there before I actually step out. And that's really kind of cool. It's a bit of a unique one. It's, I think, the only building in the game that has this kind of thing. But it means that you can have a really good look around. So if there's a bear standing out there, you're not just going to come out the door and be confronted straight with a bear. You're in this nice protected area. You can watch it. Oh, there's some stuff down here I missed on the way in. Jerry can with some lantern fuel and a newsprint roll, which gives us more tinder. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, we'll get that on the way back. We won't bother with that now. So let's go outside. I'm going to leave the door open so I can get in it quick if I need to. Being very careful. Here's the cellar. Let's go in. You can only access the cellar from outside. You can't get to it from inside, so it is a bit of a problem. Wait, okay. I'm calling it a cellar. The game obviously is Canadian or based in Canada. So it's called a basement. It depends where you come from. We call them cellars in the UK. I know in North America they're called basements. But we're in the cellar. And there's some stuff in here. We've got some tools which we need for crafting. Crafting and repair. We'll do that later. Pry bar we can use for opening locked containers and lockers. So that's cool. These we can break down for firewood. What we got? So we've got cloth that we can use for repair. What else we got down here? Got some scrap metal, again, that's for crafting and repair. Anything else lying around on the floor? Nope. Okay, so we've got some more ski gloves and some cloth. Spare clothing we'll go and store. We've got wood matches, and we've got, what have we got in here? A worn cotton scarf. Okay, that's cool, so another scarf. See which one of those is the best. Okay, so that locker is locked, you can see by the padlock, but we have a pry bar so we can open it. Let's go force it open, and then we can get inside it. Military grade MRE, it's like a ration pack. That's cool, that's pretty good. Oh, another one, excellent.
Okay.
These are good because they give you a lot of calories, so they're very useful food, particularly early on in the game. This locker's not locked, and it's got nothing in it. Waste time. Alright, we've got loads of furniture here that we can break down for firewood. We've got a dryer. Anything in the dryer? Some more pants. And they're decent ones, not warm ones. So they're actually going to be better than the ones we're wearing. We'll go and have a look at those in a minute. Anything in the washer? Nope. Now obviously I haven't broken my lantern out, so let's do that. Let's just we can cycle through the various things we've got. We don't want to light a... Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Don't want to light a flare, because that's a bit of a waste. We want to light our storm lantern. Gives a bit of light to see what we're doing. And it's a good job we did it. There's a whetstone for sharpening tools. And first aid cabinet.
I'll take it.
And some antiseptic, which we need again for wolf bites and things like that. And we have some more scrap metal. I might leave that where it is. Let's have a quick look through the filing cabinet. The obligatory flick through the filing cabinet. Whoops. I keep missing that second drawer out for some reason.
Nobody needs this anymore.
A sewing kit. And let's have a quick look in the drawer. Another sewing kit. Okay, and we've got some cured leather, which we use for repairing boots and things like that. Right, okay, so this is the workbench. The workbench here is in the cellar. Let's turn this off. In fact, no, actually no. I'll leave that on, because I know the videos on YouTube tend to be a bit darker, so it'll be a bit easier if you see what we're doing if we leave that on. The workbench allows you to do crafting. If we click on it, which we've already accidentally done, you can craft various things. So you can craft an old man's beard wound dressing from some old man's beard lichen, which we haven't collected yet, and a bandage, and that actually acts as a bandage and antiseptic on a wound. So it's better to carry those if you can, but you need to find some old man's beard. So we'll go and have a look for some of that later. We can also make a simple torch if we've got some oil, cloth and some reclaimed wood. Snare for catching rabbits, but we do need some cured gut, which you get from animals to be able to do that. So right now we can't do that until we've caught something else, or found a carcass that we can harvest. We can make a hook from some scrap metal, a line from some cured gut, and that allows us to make fishing tackle. Let's go fishing. Rabbit skin mitts, obviously we do that from rabbit pelts, and again cured gut. Cured gut is almost like the string of the game, and you get that from animals, carcasses and what have you. Obviously rabbit pelts come from rabbits, and that they are much warmer mittens, so they're really good to have. Deerskin boots, same again, they're made from deerskin and they're really warm. Deerskin pants, or trousers as we call them in Britain, which again keep you much warmer. Wolfskin coat, really good, that keeps you really warm. Bearskin coat, that's something that's relatively new, but obviously you need bear skins for that one, that's a bit tricky. Bearskin bedroll, much better than your normal bedroll, but again you need bear skins. Survival bow, we need to find some maple saplings before we do anything with that, and again with arrows we need birch saplings. And all that kind of stuff. So these are the kind of things we're going to be crafting. And again, as always in these series, our first goal is going to be to try and make all the animal skin clothing. So we're going to start trying to capture and harvest animals so we can get the skins and hides and start to cure them, which we're going to be doing down here. Now, I tend to keep all of my crafting supplies by the workbench. So what I'm actually going to do, I have got various things. So I've got some scrap metal. I've got some cured leather. I've got some cloth, and I've got various bits of tools and things. So I'm going to drop those tools. I'm going to drop the whetstone. I'm going to drop most of the sewing kits. I'll keep one, but I'm going to drop all the others. And I'm going to keep them all here. So tools we'll put on the workbench. Sewing kits we might as well put on the workbench. I do like to keep things. It's better in many ways to keep them in the container, but I quite like to be able to see them, so I'll see what I've got. And in the drawer I'm going to put the materials that we've got, so the scrap metal, the leather, the feathers, which you need to make arrows, and the cloth for repairing stuff. We'll put it all in here. I think that's pretty much everything we're going to want to leave down here. Yep, so this is my little crafting bench station, so this is where I'm going to come to do my crafting and repair of anything that we need to repair. Okay, so let's turn this out now. And we'll head back upstairs. In fact, what's our condition like? Not too bad. Okay, we'll see what the weather's doing. We haven't really seen the weather changing yet. The weather's been okay so far. It's a little bit hazy when we just left. Obviously the different weather conditions in the game. So let's see what the weather's up to. It's a bit of a pea super. But it's not too bad with temperature. Minus 22. That's not good. That's very cold. It tends to be quite cold in the morning. So we've got 11 hours daylight left. We're in the first hour of the day. So probably the best thing for me to do is to go back inside. We'll collect these and take them in. Jerry can full of lamp oil and the roll. And we'll... Oops, just knock my earpiece out. And we shall just do a little bit of housekeeping before we try and do anything else. So, let's go into our backpack. There's our jerry can. There's our storm lantern. So, actions and refuel. So that'll take fuel from any available fuel supply that you have in your inventory, and we'll refill the lantern. Oh, I haven't put my phone on silent. That's embarrassing. I normally do, and I completely forgot. There we go. So we've refilled the storm lantern, so that's all good. We now got a full 1 litre. Plus we've got a little bit left. So what I'm going to do with that, that's sort of counted as equipment. So I'm going to drop it here, and we'll pop it up on this table, so we know where it is. Okay, so pry bob will carry with us, knife will carry with us, tin opener will carry with us, sewing kit will carry with us, that will carry, so that's all stuff we're taking. This book, we can research. In fact, let's just do that. Let's do a bit of research. We'll research it. Now, what this does is increases your skill sets. So this one, Wilderness Kitchen, is going to increase our cooking skill. And that basically means that food cooks quicker and we retain more calories from cooked food. So what we're going to do is research it, and we'll research it for 2 hours, I think. Now, there are certain conditions where you can't research. If you're too hungry or thirsty, you can't research. If you're too tired, you can't research. And if it's dark, you can't research. But right now, we're okay. So we've done a little bit of research on that, but I'm not going to drop it, and I'm going to pop it up here, because I don't want to carry it with me. It's weight I don't need to be carrying. Let's go.
Starving.
Yes, that's what I'm about to do. Right, I'm going to eat one of the MREs, because that will bring our calorie count all the way pretty much to the top. There we go, and I'm going to drink some water, because again, that will sort that out. And we've still got plenty of water on board, so we're all good. Okay, now the only reason I'm eating and drinking now, rather than doing what I've been saying and letting the condition drop a little bit, is because we're about to head out. So, I just want to make sure I've got good reserves before I head out there. Now, we're carrying a lot of excess clothing as well at the minute, so let's just quickly go back into our clothing thing and see if we can change anything. So, we're wearing warm work pants, but we have some decent ones, and the little green arrows say they're going to be better for us. So let's do a swap. What about... okay, we'll stick with what we got there. That's all going to be worse, so we won't bother with that. This, that's actually going to be better because that's in better condition, so let's just do a swap. There we go. I don't think we've got any more clothes, have we? Nope, that's it. Okay, the little pluses mean you have other clothing items that will fit in that slot. So I think the best way to do it is just to kind of shuffle around things and have a look and see what the best options are. So let's go and get rid of the clothing that we're not actually going to be wearing. I always store it upstairs, just because it's a bedroom with a wardrobe in it, and that's where you tend to store clothes. So we go to clothes, and anything we're not wearing, we're going to get rid of. Again, you can notice that clothing has condition ratings. The lower the condition, the lower the bonuses are of that clothing. So it's always worth thinking about repairing your clothing. We'll get onto that one probably in the next video, to be honest. We're coming up to time a little bit now. So what I'm going to do, I think I've pretty much got rid of everything that I don't want to... Oh, I've got a few fire-starting things I need to take. Okay, let's drop these matches. We don't need to take all of those with us. The trick when you're going to go out on a scavenging run is only take with you what you absolutely... What you absolutely need. Don't carry stuff you don't need because it reduces your carrying capacity for bringing things back. So you need to get rid of as much stuff as you don't need to be carrying. So we don't really need to be carrying that reclaimed wood because we can pick sticks up on the way. So let's get rid of that and have a little pile of wood there. We need to harvest that into... You get from a newsprint roll, you get 4 tinder plugs. So we'll harvest that down. Now that's giving us 10 tinder plugs. I am going to hang on to that now. It's about the number I tend to carry. Any more than that I'll leave behind. I won't take the magnifying glass simply because we're going to an indoor location, so there's no point because that will only work in daylight. So we'll get rid of it. We've got matches anyway, so we're all good. Medical supplies, I am going to carry what I've got. Antiseptic, I would prefer to carry. Antibiotics, I'd prefer to carry. Bandage, carry. Emergency stim, carry. And also painkillers, if you've got any. And obviously, we haven't. Need to be carrying those as well. Nothing in the inventory for that one. Minimal stuff there. Minimal food, clothes. I think we're looking good. I think we're ready to head out. What's the weather doing? 8. I think we're in very good condition. Everything's in the white. The weather doesn't sound too bad. Let's see if it's cleared up. Should have done. We've been in there for a few hours game time now, so... Should have cleared up, hopefully. Ah, yes, that looks good. Okay, so let's just make sure there's no wolves, bears, or nasty things waiting for us. And it all looks good. Let's get rid of that. We don't need to be carrying that. Okay, so let's head out. Now I'm going to shut the door as we're going a bit further away. And we're going to go for a little walk. Minus 11, minus 15. Yeah, that's okay. Not too bad. Okay, we've got some rose hips here. I want to harvest those. They're medical. They are part of your medical natural remedies. I can't actually remember what they help with. I need to go and reread that. I can't remember, but they are part of the natural medicine thing, and there is an achievement for using all of it. So all the different items you can get. So worth thinking about. Okay, we're heading this way because I'm heading for that barn. You can see right in the distance. You can see we're crossing some hay. Bales stored in those fields and things. It's an area where you get a lot of wolves. This don't make noises like that. It scares me. Yeah, you get a lot of wolves and things lurking around here, so we want to make sure that we avoid them. So we're going to head for the barn and see what's in the barn. What we got here then? Well, we've got these little open barns. They're not indoor locations. There's a deer over there. Deer's quite relaxed, so quite happy. I'm not hunting today, so we're all good. We'll do a bit of hunting probably in a couple of videos' time, probably. We're just sort of gathering supplies at the moment. Okay, we'll pass through these just to see if there's anything in here. There isn't normally, but, you know, things do change in Long Dark, so we'll have a look. Obviously, these are still outdoor locations. They're not very warm. They're a little bit more sheltered, but they're not very warm, so they're not great to stop in, but we'll carry on round. Obviously, we've got these hay bales. They do act as a little bit of a windbreak, particularly if you duck down. You see the little symbol in the bottom left, indicating it was sheltered slightly. I'm going to keep walking. Keep our eyes open for wolves. I don't think the bear tends to wander over here, but we'll keep an eye open for it. So wolves we're mainly looking for. Not seeing any at the moment. Obviously we are a bit exposed to the wind and the weather walking across here, but we're okay. Our clothes are helping us quite nicely. So this is our first scavenging run of this playthrough. Going out and seeing what we can scavenge and then taking it back to base camp. So again, if you're new to the game, give it a go. Go out there, get it on Steam. I think it's still counted as early access, I think. But believe me, they really have put some work into this. If you've never come across the Long Dark before, I say this every single series that I do. If you've never come across a Long Dark before, believe me, they really have put the work into this. And it has developed and developed and developed. And the story mode is coming, it's not far away. And I think it's going to be really cool when it comes out. Okay. So, you know, get out there, get on Steam, go and get it. It's brilliant. If you want to hang around for a weekend deal or whatever, it does crop up in sales. So, just enjoy these videos in the meantime. But, you know, give it a try. It really is a cool game. Literally, because we're in amongst a whole load of snow. Okay, I'm going to ignore those for the time being. I don't think there's anything in them anyway, but we'll check them out later. There is a slightly more enclosed barn over there, but we'll just head into the main barn for now. Archery practice, there's a wolf over there. Archery practice, if you wanted to do it there, which you get a bow, you can pick those arrows up out of the archery board as well. But there's a wolf over there, so I'm going to go inside through the door. You can't go in through the main barn doors, but you can go in through the little side doors. And we're safe in this location inside the barn. So, I think we're going to call it a day because we've hit time on this video. So, I am going to say thank you for watching. We've had a pretty good run through. I'm not doing the journal entries that I've done on other videos because half the time I can't think of what to put, and half the time I forget to save them anyway. So I'm not doing that. But I'm going to say thank you for watching. We've done quite a good run today. We've basically just had a little bit of a housekeeping trip around Pleasant Valley Homestead. We've gone down into Cellar and sorted ourselves out down there, and we've done our first scavenging run, or well, not done it, but we've headed out on our first scavenging run to collect supplies from the Red Barn, which is obviously where we now are. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. We shall carry on with some more Long Dark, and there's lots of other stuff I'm hoping to try and do as well. Obviously, as I said in the last video, I'm going to have a fair bit of free time on my hands fairly soon, so hopefully we can catch up and do some cool videos. But I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again very, very soon for some more on Dark.